Hey guys, so to start off we're going to use a transition shade, a warm transition shade in the crease, and we're going to deepen it with a deep orange shade. And at first I was going to do a rounded eye look, but then I decided I wanted to do kind of a smoked out wing shadow look, so then I added some tape to the edge just to be my guideline. It makes it really easy to get that winged out shape. So then I deepen the edges with this red color, and I thought it would be a nice blend from orange to red to purple. So I'm just blending that out in windshield wiper motions, and now I'm taking a pointed smaller brush and really focusing that on the outer corner. This is a purple shade, and then I'll go in and deepen in also the inner corner. To get sort of that halo effect, I'm leaving that center part of the eyelid bare. I'm not putting any product there. So again, just on the outer corner and just on the inner corner. And then I take a clean brush, or you can have it with translucent powder just to blend out the edges. Then you just remove the tape gently. And now for the lower lash line, I'm just going to join that smoked out wing with the bottom lash line with that red and orange combination. I'm going to really smoke that out first, and then I'll add that deep purple just to the edges. And then again, softening the edge with a clean brush. Now I'm taking a paint pot. You could use a concealer or an eyeshadow base or glitter glue just to really clean out the top of the eyelid and give just kind of a sticky base for our pigment to adhere to. And I am blending out the edges, kind of buffing those out just so that there's no harsh line. Then I'm taking the green pigment and placing that in that same spot where you put that creamy base. I went ahead and wet my brush just to really intensify that green pigment. And then again, softening, buffing those edges out just so there's more of a blended look between the colors. Then I take a reflex purple pigment and putting that in as my inner corner highlight. Then I'm taking a black liquid liner, creating a small wing, and then I'm extending that front part and making it is going to be a very sharp point. Then I'm going to extend the lower lash line by wherever my lashes stop in the front. I'm just going to flick it out and create a line, just almost like a double wing in the front of the eye. Now I'm taking a forest green shade and just naturally filling in my brows and taking a white eyeliner and filling in my waterline. Then I'm just applying foundation and concealer, fluffing that all out, and then setting it with translucent powder. Now I'm going to go ahead and bronze and contour the perimeter of my face and my cheekbones. Even though most of this will be covered by the clay, I still wanted to have that underneath just in case there was still some skin exposed through the cracks. Then I'm taking that same forest green eyeshadow that I used in my brows, and I'm just gently flicking it up and then also bringing it down the bridge of my nose. This is just to give sort of this, almost this green nose contour without just painting my nose just completely green. So really focusing that at the base of the brow and just that top part of the bridge of my nose and buffing it down, but no lower than where my eye would stop. And then just whatever's left over on the brush, gently contouring just the tip of my nose. And I'm taking just a rosy pink blush, again, just in case any of this skin is exposed through the cracks. Then I am taking a lilac toned highlighter and highlighting my brow bone area and also the space in between that nose contour and the eyeshadow. Then I'm taking a brown lip liner or eyeliner, whatever you have, and I'm lining my lips, filling it in with a brown lipstick, and then going over that with a brown and gold pigment. Then I went ahead and added some lashes, and that's it for the sort of beauty makeup part of the look. So then I'm going to go in with this clay. It's called Fuller's Earth. And all you have to do is add water. This is a natural clay used in a lot of clay masks and beauty products. You can find it online, like on Amazon. So I just added water, kind of got it to that consistency, and then I went ahead and started applying it. It's really safe to use on your skin. Again, if you have sensitive skin, please, do a patch test to make sure you don't have any reaction to it. But if you get in your hair, it's water soluble, so it's really easy to remove. And it's quite comfortable on the skin. It's kind of cooling and a little bit tightening as it dries. So one thing to note is the thicker the layer of clay that you put, the deeper the cracks are going to be. So I tried to keep the layers very thin, where I wanted it to sort of blend into the beauty makeup, and sort of thicker on the outside, the perimeters of my face. And again, the thicker of the layer that you put, the longer it's going to take to dry. So I did use, it was taking really long, so I used a blow dryer on the cool setting to kind of speed up that process. Once it was about 80% dry, I felt that it was okay to kind of paint over it. But yeah, so I just applied the clay sort of wherever my skin was going to be exposed. So on my neck, my chest, a little bit on my ears. I added some to my cheekbones to kind of give like where I would contour. And again, as the clay dries, you kind of move your face to make some facial expressions. It's going to start cracking just a little bit more. So you can see the cracks here. So I took this coarse sponge and I used water activated paints, and I used first I laid down a white layer, and this really kind of just puts kind of like almost like speckles or freckles of the color because of the way the sponge is and how thin the paint is. So I did first a layer of just white kind of speckling around, then I added some dark green, a little bit of brown, and a little bit of black. And just to make sure I didn't sort of lose my bone structure under all the clay, I did go in with the brown and sort of put it more where I would contour. So like a little bit on my cheekbones, on the temples. So I kind of contoured with the speckling. And it also helped kind of blend it into the beauty makeup. So I put a little bit on the edges of where the clay stopped, and that sort of helped blend out the clay too. Then I went over some of the areas with a little bit of that bronzer, just to add a little bit more depth and really define some of those cracks. And don't forget to get your ears or whatever exposed skin you're going to have. Then I went in with that same lilac highlight, and I went in on my cheekbones with that lilac highlight. Now to finish off, I added some moss. So I used some clear lash glue, and I stuck moss sort of organically around my face. I try to keep it kind of asymmetric. And I mixed different types of moss, and then I also added a little bit of black eyeshadow on the edges so that it looked more like as if it was kind of growing out of the cracks rather than just laying on top. And then got some pieces of like bark and also glued that with the eyelash glue. I thought it looked really cool. It was a really cool effect, kind of brought the look together. Also with the eyebrows, taking that same clear lash glue, shredding little pieces of moss and putting that, and taking little tiny sticks that were kind of bendy and had sort of frayed. I thought that looked really cool. And put again, the asymmetry, you know, 3 little sticks on one side of the brow, 4 sticks on the other brow. And then I covered the base of the sticks with more of that moss. So again, it looks almost like as if it was growing out of my brow rather than just laying on top of the brow. And I think this sort of really kind of brought the whole look together. I really like the way the brows turned out. So you could stop here. I think this conveys, you know, the message of Mother Earth, Mother Nature, but I did want to take it a step further and kind of add just a little bit of a twist to it. I thought, you know, at the center of the earth is, you know, this fiery core, so I thought I wanted to paint on her core, which is her heart, you know, made of lava. So I took these water activated paints and I used this technique where half the brush is the light color and the other half is the darker color, and you just keep going until you build this gradient. So it went from cream to yellow the first time, then yellow to orange, then I went in with orange and red, and then I blended in the red and the black, and it really gives a nice gradient effect. And then I took that black on a really thin brush and I created these cracks. And for the heart shape, I just Googled lava rocks and I Googled anatomical heart. And I tried to kind of keep sort of the irregular shapes of the lava rocks and kind of tried to place them in a general area that would sort of fill in an anatomical heart. So it's not exactly, obviously, what an anatomical heart would look like, but it's a general sort of shape of it. So I just filled that in. Again, these are water activated paints. And then I took a little bit of white and a little bit of red and sort of created some highlights just to make it a little bit more 3D. And then around the edge of the cracks, I did more of these irregular sort of rock shapes, almost as if it was like a lake of lava. So these really small dotted shapes that you'll see in a moment, and that kind of broke off into bigger shapes. And then I took this neon orange UV paint and filled in all the veins and all the fire, and it really, I think, brought it together, made it glow. It was so neon, and it also glowed in the UV light, which I thought was really, really cool. So if you have like a costume party or something, I think that would be a really cool effect. And that's me practicing with the UV paint. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this look. I really hope you liked it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please follow me on Instagram at Deanna Vasquez Makeup Artist. Thanks again so much for watching. Bye.